How do you get coaching clients fast? That's what pretty much every coach wants to know. I mean, who wants to take forever to get a coaching client, right? We want to get them fast and when we need them. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What is the fastest way to attract coaching clients who not only show up on your calendar, but who want to work with you? So let's talk about this. The biggest problems most coaches have right now is they're focusing on the slowest way to get clients because it looks like the fastest way to get clients, okay? So let's talk about it. I'm going to give you some key takeaways on finding clients fast, but let's talk about the ones that most people think work quickly but actually don't. So the one that people think works quickly but actually doesn't is focusing on organic social media. Okay, now here's why. If you have now pent up demand, let's say on LinkedIn or in your Facebook friends, that's a little different, but that dies real quick. That's the equivalent of having an orange tree in your backyard and then going out and picking all the oranges. Well, now you got nothing left, right? And so initially, if you've just started moving into your coaching consulting business, you're going to have some pent up demand, most likely from previous relationships and all that kind of stuff. Maybe. Okay, a lot of coaches do. But what do you do when that's all gone? Well, a lot of coaches are focusing on organic marketing strategies. What is organic marketing strategies? Things like, for example, connecting on LinkedIn with people, Facebook friend requesting people constantly, creating a Facebook group and then going into that Facebook group, trying to build relationships with people, comment on every single comment in other people's Facebook groups and private messaging them, inviting them to your Facebook group, kind of mining groups. Or one of the popular things is creating lots of content, right? Because if you have good content and people see it, it's like you're giving them a sample of what is potentially about to come. So they're like, this is really good. I really like this. I want to work with that person. And so a lot of coaches will spend a ton of time creating content to put on their site, creating content to put on social media, that kind of stuff like that. The next thing they do is they will create books and get Amazon bestsellers. You can spend a lot of money. You could get somebody to write a book for you, and then a lot of those companies will get you to the top of some sort of random category on Amazon. So now you're a best-selling author. Here's the problem with that strategy. If you don't have a following, what does it mean if you're a best-selling author? Nobody really cares anymore because anybody can become a best-selling author. It's not like it was 10 years ago where it was like, wow, you're a best-selling author? That is so amazing, right? Books have been devalued. All these things have been devalued. And so the problem is a lot of these strategies seem quick and in turn sound like, well, I can get a lot of clients using these strategies. But at the end of the day, you don't get those clients. You end up just spending a whole bunch of time doing a lot of work for very little results. Okay, so what do most coaches do at that point? Well, what most coaches do is they will hit the wall and then go, I got to create even more. I got to do more. I got to create more. I got to do more. I got to create more. And then they get more of the results that they've already been getting. So what do we do to fix this? The fastest way, in my experience, okay, is to focus on Facebook ads. Now, you might be like, well, I don't know what to do. I tried it and it failed. We'll get into all that of why it's the fastest way in my opinion. All right? Before we get to that, make sure you like this video so I know you liked it and hit the subscribe button somewhere around here because I have lots more coming down your way, and I think some of them might really help you to hopefully get more clients. And you don't want to miss them, so subscribe. And then the third thing is in the pinned comment, you're going to see a link to a webinar that I have on how I'm able to get coaching clients using what I call my 300-word ad template strategy and my snowball system on Facebook ads versus all kinds of social media strategies. Now, let's get back to it. Why Facebook ads and how does that get your clients fast? Now, remember we just talked about Coach A, we'll call them, focused on free stuff. Coach B is going to focus on ads. Why do we recommend, Facebook ads? The biggest reason that I've seen in the coaching consulting space is that Facebook has better artificial intelligence and is doing a better job at finding your ideal client than, say, something like Google ads or LinkedIn ads or something like that. They all have their place, but that's what we found. So how does it work and what do you do? Well, here's the thing you need to understand from a strategic perspective that a lot of coaches don't get. If you're a coach and you focus on Facebook first, what's going to happen is you're going to get people registering for your stuff. Okay, so you're going to get email addresses, and we'll talk about what we use for a funnel in a minute and what I recommend. But at the very least, you're just going to get people giving you their email addresses for whatever you're going to give them. All right. Not only that, your ad is going to be in your newsfeed, so they're going to be able to click the like button on your page. So you're going to get followers on your page, and you're going to get people giving you their email address. Now, what can you do with that? Well, you can obviously sell them something, maybe have something they can get. We'll get to that in a minute. But what that's also going to do is that's going to give you the ability to build a platform. Okay, and a lot of coaches don't think about this. Once you have those email addresses, you can email them regularly and you can invite them over to your LinkedIn profile. You can invite them to be a friend of yours on Facebook, get them to join your Facebook group, that kind of stuff. So you can spread them out on social media on the free part. Okay, you see what's going on here? Whereas if you only, Coach A only focused on the free stuff, and what did he get? He got, it was just, really hard to get followers. It's just a lot of work. Coach B was like, hey, I'm going to flip those ads on and, get people in, start building my list, which is going to allow me to then build my connections all over the internet. Excuse me, I'm just getting over pneumonia. Build my stuff all over the internet, okay? So Coach B is going to be way further along. Now, the next thing it allows you to do is split test and test your funnel and your process a lot quicker. Now, I'm going to come back to that. So what you then want to do in order to speed the process up, because just taking people from Facebook to a free video or something like that, that's tricky, okay? Because there's something called consumption rate. And the higher your consumption rate is, the more successful you're going to be, okay? So what does that mean? Well, what that means is this. What a lot of coaches I see are doing is they're taking people to things that are easy to get access for, like an ebook or a free report, which are similar things, or a video. And so they're basically saying, hey, give me your email address, I'll send you this video, okay? And so they get people giving their email address, and it redirects them to a page with a video. What do? They're like, oh, that's a cool video. I'll bookmark it and come back to it. And they never do. So your consumption rate is like maybe 20%, maybe 30%. Now think about a download. Think of, say you send somebody a link to a PDF. The consumption rate on that is probably going to be somewhere in a range of 5 to 10%. So nobody's consuming it because it's just easy. It has no value. And then what do, right? So how do you combat that? How do you fix that? Well, the thing we want to do is we want to add in a proper webinar funnel. Okay, let me tell you about mine. Okay, over about the last 20,000 webinar subscribers, mainly coming from paid traffic, I've averaged about a 71% show up rate. Okay, think about that for a second. 71%. Okay, and it's really not that hard to do. A lot of our clients are doing that as well. And so the reason why that's so important is, think about it. If you have a video that is getting consumed by 20% of the people and have a webinar that's getting consumed by 70% of the people who register, well, you think about that. What value is the email address other than what we talked about earlier of getting them on all your other platforms? But wouldn't it make more sense to try something that could potentially get triple the consumption rate? Because that's the most important thing that matters, right? Are they consuming it? Are they getting into it? Are they connecting with you? And then are they booking a call with you? Who cares if they just give you their email address? We obviously want that because then, like we said, you can build your platform elsewhere, but we absolutely, without question, have to increase that consumption rate. That's why we like to recommend a automated webinar funnel. It gives you more of an opportunity to do that, increases the consumption rate, which will hopefully increase your call booking rate, gives you those emails, and then everybody wins because these potential clients get help. You have a higher consumption rate, you're getting these email addresses, and now you're being able to refine your funnel quicker because you got paid traffic coming in and you're building your organic following. It's really gives you all the things that you would want, but it does it quicker because you're using paid traffic versus focusing on the free stuff. Because a lot of coaches are making the mistake of going, well, I'm going to focus on free, and then eventually I'll add in the paid stuff. Most coaches never get around to it because they just run out of energy and momentum and steam and they're just like, forget it. Because they're just constantly chipping away at that brick wall, trying to build their organic following, thinking someday it's just going to snowball and then they'll be able to turn their ads on. Well, I've never seen that. In my opinion, it's really hard to do unless you have a third-party source of leads that is filling your system. Like, say, for example, you're always on TV or you're on 25 podcasts a week or something like that where you have this stuff coming at you. And so unless you have that or you're like this A-lister out there, it's really hard to do. So that's why we like to focus on this strategy. And that's why, in my opinion, it's the fastest way to get coaching clients, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Well, again, click the like button, hit the subscribe button so I can get you more of these videos, and hit down below in the pinned comment section. Please click that link and watch that video on the snowball system and 300-word ad strategy I've been using to get qualified coaching clients that I've used for years and years and years. I think it's really going to help you. Look forward to seeing you on the webinar. Take care.